All right, so, all right, so Mr. Lubianski, are you going back in to the breakout room?
Yes. Should I just start inviting the 8:30s in order myself?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
That's fine, yes. Okay.
All right.
All right, and so, okay, let me handle one of the custodies here. Detective Sergeant Grote, which individual do you have there?
We have Mr. Weaver and Mr. Cruz. They're on the same warrant.
Okay, and I will take both of those cases, please. Okay, and I'm done with that. All right, we are on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Cruz, I'm sorry, Michael Daniel Cruz, 2322417, and the state of Michigan versus Chance Zechariah Weaver, 2322416. And Detective Sergeant Grote, your name for the record, please.
Detective Sergeant Ken Grote.
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. And you may proceed on the warrant.
On Thursday, November 16, 2023, approximately 1:53 a.m., Officer Grote was on patrol in the area of St. John's and 2nd Street in the city of Wyandotte. Officer Grote observed the listed vehicle to be driving, it was a Honda, driving faster than the posted 25-mile-per-hour speed limit westbound on St. John's. As the vehicle drove, it turned off its headlights and continued westbound and turned into the driveway of 414 St. John's. That is a known drug house in the city of Wyandotte. Officer Grote saw the vehicle did not have a license plate attached to the vehicle, and for the above reasons, he made a traffic stop on the car. As Officer Grote made the traffic stop, two females attempted to exit the vehicle and walk away, but were ordered to stay in the car. The driver, later identified as Mr. Cruz, attempted to exit the seat, and the front seat passenger, later identified as Mr. Weaver, attempted to exit the front passenger seat. Officer Grote ordered all the occupants to stay in the vehicle and requested other units. While speaking with the occupants of the vehicle, they all gave different reasons for being at that location. Officer Grote asked Mr. Weaver to exit the vehicle and asked for consent to search his person, which consent was granted. While searching Mr. Weaver, Officer Grote located a rolled up dollar bill filled with a white residue that was later field tested positive to be cocaine inside his right jacket pocket. In Weaver's left jacket pocket, Officer Grote located a piece of cellophane baggie with white residue inside. While searching between Mr. Weaver's legs and buttocks, Officer Grote felt a round, soft object that made a crunchy noise when it was touched and appeared to be a cellophane bag. Mr. Weaver was handcuffed and removed the object from his underwear. That object was a tied cellophane baggie containing 29 individual baggies of crack cocaine and one loose annex bar. Officer Sloan arrived to move the driver Cruz to exit the vehicle, and he stated he did not possess a valid driver's license. Lien checker Mr. Cruz showed his driver's license to be suspended. Mr. Cruz asked the officers to take the keys to his personal safe off the key ring. Lien check of the vehicle VIN number showed that the vehicle would be reported stolen out of Knoxville, Tennessee, which was confirmed by dispatch. Mr. Detective Geiger and I spoke to Mr. Cruz under Miranda, and he stated he got the car from a neighborhood friend named Tay. He admitted that he knows Tay deals in stolen vehicles, but there's a 50-50 chance the car was stolen. We also spoke to Mr. Weaver under Miranda, and he stated the narcotics belonged to him and not Mr. Cruz.
Thank you. Upon examination of the complaining witness, I find the offenses charged were committed and that there's probable cause to believe the defendants committed the offenses. And counsel, good morning. Your appearance for the record, please.
Good morning, Judge. Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Mr. Cruz.
And Mr. Cruz. Yes. Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
Your name for the record, please.
Michael Daniel Cruz.
All right. And counsel, as to the arraignment.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, we are prepared to waive a formal reading and my client stands mute.
The court will waive the formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment. And Mr. Lubianski, if you want to grab somebody else and pull them in right now, since I'm doing this, you can certainly do that. And the court, and Mr. Cruz, you do have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court will appoint one to represent you. And in fact, you've had an opportunity to speak to an attorney today, correct?
Yes.
And you also have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a trial by a judge or by a jury. You also have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing may be used against you in court. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
The court is going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Schedule this matter for a probable cause conference on November 22nd at 9:30 a.m. And counsel, as to bond in this matter.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like you to know that Mr. Cruz currently lives in Detroit. He does have family that resides in Wyandotte. He is employed as a truck driver. He's not currently on probation or parole. He does not have any other pending matters out of any other jurisdiction. And after speaking with him at length this morning, he did assure me that he would be appearing at all future court dates, and he has no history of absconding. I would just ask that this honorable court take all that into consideration.
So you're not on probation at
No,
all?
ma'am. No.
You're not on parole?
Oh.
What about your matter out of the Third Circuit Court 2018? It shows you were to serve 4 to 20 years.
I've been on parole. I've been out for 2 years.
Please let me finish. Please let me finish. For felony possession of controlled substance, a lot of your other matters on those charges were dismissed. So it shows that you were to serve 4 to 20 years. So what was it that you were sentenced to, sir?
They had a CI working on me and they hit me with delivering and manufacturing less than 50 grams of cocaine. But
Yes,
I was
sir,
on
I
a-
see that. I'm asking, sir, you pled guilty to
I
felony
think 4.5 years.
controlled sir, please just stop talking and listen to me for a moment, okay? Because you're not answering my question.
That's what
I'm aware that you have a conviction for delivery, manufacturing of a felony controlled substance. And I'm also aware that it says your sentence was 4 to 20 years in state prison. So my question to you is, did you serve time? How much time did you serve?
that's what I was saying. I did 4 years and I did a year of parole. I've been off parole for 2 years now.
You served 4 years.
Yes, ma'am.
So that would put you out April of 22, and you did 1 year of parole?
Yes, ma'am. And I got out on March 16th for 2021, I think. Because it'd be 2 years now. March 16th would be 2 years, I'll be home.
Well, my math is different, but in any event, you're on parole, or you have a number of felony possession charges. And here you are again. All right, Detective Sergeant Grote, as to bond.
Your Honor, Mr. Cruz has been cooperative with us during his stay here and the night of his arrest. Due to his lengthy criminal history and the habitual charge on it, we'll ask for 10%.
The court will note, based on Mr. Cruz's criminal history and for the safety of the community, the court is going to order a $15,000 10% bond. In the event you post bonds, so you're not to be released without GPS tether, you're not to possess and consume any alcohol or drugs that are not prescribed. And I've signed the order for court appointed attorney for felony purposes as well.
Thank you, Ron.
I'm not paying that, bro.
Mr. Cruz, please don't interrupt the record for the next matter, please, whether you're unhappy or not. This is the matter, this is Chance Weaver and counsel, your appearance, please.
Attorney Corey Westmoreland appearing on behalf of Mr. Weaver.
Thank you. And Mr. Weaver, your name, please.
Chance Zachariah Weaver.
All right, and counsel, as to the arraignment.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, we are prepared to waive a formal reading, and my client stands mute.
The court will waive the formal reading. Sir, you have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court will appoint one to represent you. And in fact, you've had an opportunity to speak to an attorney today, correct?
Yes.
You also have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a trial by a judge or by a jury. You also have the right to be. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing may be used against you in writing. Do you understand all those rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
The court's going to enter a plea of not guilty, and we have scheduled this matter for probable cause conference on November 22nd at 9:30 a.m. And counsel as to bond.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Weaver currently is residing in Detroit. He is gainfully employed full-time at Mission Point Nursing Home. He is a certified nursing assistant. He's not currently on probation or parole. He has no other pending matters out of any other court. And after speaking with him at length this morning, he did assure me that he would be appearing at all future court dates, and he has no history of absconding. I would just respectfully request that all that be taken into account when assessing a bond on behalf of Mr. Weaver.
All right, and so Mr. Weaver,
Yes, ma'am.
who do you live with?
Myself.
Have you ever failed to appear in court for any reason, sir?
No, ma'am.
You're not currently on probation or parole?
No, ma'am.
And if you were to test today, sir, what's in your system?
Weed, liquor, and the substance they found.
I can't understand the last part. What's that?
I said weed, liquor, and the substance they found.
Well, can you be more specific for the record, please? The record doesn't know what was found.
Crack is what they live with, I think.
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
So that would be
is what
detected in your system also?
Yes.
All right, Detective Sergeant Grody, Esteban.
Your Honor, the same as Mr. Cruz, Mr. Weaver was cooperative with the officers the night in question. He's been cooperative while he's in here, but the seriousness of the crime and no ties to the city of Wyandotte, we'll ask for 10,000, 10% for Mr. Weaver also.
I'm sorry, you said 10,000, 10%? Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will note that Mr. Weaver does have a criminal history, albeit not lengthy. The court will also note that this appears to be Mr. Weaver's first charge in of this kind. The court will note for the safety of the public, as well as to ensure Mr. Weaver's presence due to his lack of ties to the community. The court will order the 10,000, 10% bond. In the event you post bond, sir, you're not to possess or consume the alcohol or drugs unless prescribed.
Yeah.
And the court has signed the petition for court appointed attorney. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, off the record.